back, just a terrifying story out of Ohio with a surprising West Michigan connection. A child fell into the cheetah exhibit at a Cleveland zoo, a 2-year-old child. His parents were able to jump in behind him. Thankfully, they were able to get that young boy out safely and quickly. The cheetah made no attempt to get at the child, but the boy was hurt. He did have to be taken to the hospital, but get this, witnesses told officials that the child's parents appeared to have been dangling him over the exhibit. Now the prosecutor is reviewing the case. Well, joining us in studio now, Mark and Evan McConnell. You guys are from Hudsonville, and you just happened to be there at the zoo when all this happened.
We did.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Tell me about what happened, Mark.
We were walking up to see the gorilla exhibit and the cheetahs, and we were about 50 yards away and heard somebody yell help really loud.
Wow.
My son Luke, who isn't here, he actually saw what was going on before I did. Saw a mom and a dad and a baby inside the exhibit, and he went running. I went running right behind him, and the baby and the mom were out pretty quick, but the dad was stuck in there for a while. And we had a bunch of men that kind of got around him, and it was about a 10 to 12 foot wall. He had to jump up, grab onto hands. So there's about 5 of us to help pull the dad over the wall.
Okay, so you guys were all kind of latching onto him.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Did the animals just not notice?
They were watching. Evan could kind of see the cheetahs along with my daughter Sarah. They were watching. The cheetahs were off in the distance, but just kind of sitting still. But once the dad got out of the pit, the cheetahs then started running around. You could tell they were, affected by what was going on, but they hadn't made a move towards the family at all.
Oh my gosh, and we've seen stories like this in the past that have ended just awfully. Was there a large crowd around? I mean,
there really wasn't. There was maybe, I would say, 20 people up on the platform to look at the cheetahs. It was a big fenced area, so on the back side of the fence, there was a few people that were there. They were yelling and screaming, trying to get the attention of the cheetahs to distract them.
Wow.
There was just a lot of screaming and yelling going on.
All right. And Evan, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14. What was going through your mind when you saw all this happen?
Well, I knew there was a lot of larger men than me,
right,
and I knew there wasn't much space in that. It was a fairly small viewing spot. So all I did was I just grabbed my sister and got out of the way.
All right.
So.
Right. Yeah, that's certainly a situation that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the folks that were there were able to jump in and help out. Now they're saying that there's possible criminal charges. Did you see any of that? Any of this child being dangled over the exhibit?
No, by the time we got, like I say, we were just walking up about 50 yards away and we heard the help. And so by that time they were already in. The dad didn't seem to know what had happened. My son Luke said that he heard the dad say that he was parking the stroller and the mom had 2 little kids, but there was a grandma with them, another son, and they were all obviously terrified and very scared. The baby had looked like he must have fallen face first into fortunately it was in mud and not cement.
Right.
His whole face was caked with mud and obviously screaming very loudly.
Wow.
So.
Terrifying ordeal.
It was.
Thankfully, it's one with a happy ending, and that one that you guys can talk about with relatively fond memories.
Could have been a whole lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
We're glad you guys were there. Kudos to both of you, as well as Luke for helping out.
Yes, he went running. So
give him the shout out. Guys, thank you for joining us. Evan and Mark McConnell from Hudsonville.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.